on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com. President Biden took part in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier on Memorial Day. And a deadly Israeli airstrike in Gaza killed several civilians. The backlash now spreading into the U.S. with protesters shutting down a major freeway in California. Plus, two-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer Bill Walton has died at 71 after a long battle with cancer.
And we got lots more heat coming our way today and for the rest of this week, but we have a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms possibly coming as early as this afternoon and tonight. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
State championship week in the Crossroads. Shiner has their state semifinal game tonight, and you'll hear from them in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Estrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 20th day of May 2024. The time is now 6:31 on our Tuesday morning and it's Whooping Crane Day.
Whooping Crane Day.
Have you ever seen a whooping crane?
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a crane like the bird.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I've not seen a whooping crane.
Well, our Aransas Wildlife Refuge was created as a safe migratory home, temporary home for whooping cranes because they make their way across the country or the continent.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And they live to be up to 24 years. They're an endangered species.
Wow, I did not know that, Carolina. I have to go get that a look. That sounds pretty cool.
Well, I have some whooping cranes in my story that I did, part of Storm Prep. That's going to air June 3rd. I know you have a story in Storm Prep too.
Oh, yes, I do. In fact, my story was on beachfront properties because I know that the beachfront properties experienced the brunt of all the storm damage, but we've got that later. Actually, I think that comes next month. You said June 3rd. June 3rd, that's the day. Yeah, Carolina says that's right around the corner. Yeah, that is actually. That's next week. That is correct. Actually, yes, Carolina, you're right. Hurricane season is coming up. Y'all might want to get ready for that because we probably have a bad hurricane season. But coming our way today, we could possibly have some bad, severe weather. We're going to take a look at that just a second because right now, already plenty warm and humid. You're looking live here in Victoria. It's 78 degrees. I don't know why it says sunny. It's not sunny. Pretty cloudy out there and also a little bit foggy out there with the humidity sitting at 96%. So please be careful because looking at the humidity map here, you can see, or the fog map that is, some of us seeing just a thin layer of fog out there this morning. So please be careful out on the roads. But I think that fog will clear by 9 a.m. because looking at your weather headlines here, we do have some strong storms possibly coming our way. And I'm going to have to change that now because that might be coming as early as this afternoon. But then after that, we've got plenty more daily rain chances this week and also a few breezy days coming later this week, bring a little bit of heat relief because it's still going to be a little bit hot. Even today going to be hot. I'm thinking highs right around 95 this afternoon. Out west, they could see maybe 100 degrees under the sunny skies today. Mostly sunny skies, but like I said, as we go into this afternoon, that big cluster of storms that's in Dallas is actually going to come down here. You can see this is 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., maybe a couple strong to severe thunderstorms coming through our area. But then a second wave comes tonight right after midnight, probably after 3 a.m. And you can see the National Weather Service has a level 2. They might even extend to level 3 all the way down here. So we're going to have the police make sure to be weather aware for that. And I'm going to have plenty more details as we go through the rest of the day, but plenty more daily rain chances to continue. We're going to take a look at all that more, though, in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. On Monday morning, Arlington National Cemetery held its annual ceremony in honor of Memorial Day. First, President Biden, along with Vice President Harris and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, took part in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The national anthem and taps were played as the president placed a wreath in front of the tomb that honors fallen U.S. military members who remain unidentified. Afterwards, Biden addressed a large crowd gathered at the cemetery's amphitheater and spoke about the importance of remembering those who sacrificed for the country. And now to the global outcry after a deadly Israeli airstrike in Gaza. Several civilians reportedly killed. The backlash now spreading to the U.S. as protesters shut down a major freeway in Southern California.
This morning, the Biden administration is reportedly assessing whether this Israeli airstrike in Rafah Sunday crossed President Biden's red line. The attack leaving a refugee camp engulfed in flames, people screaming in horror. 50 people were killed, hundreds injured, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. This woman saying, "We were here in tents and suddenly we found rockets falling on us. There is nowhere safe for us to go." Her family now forced to move for the 8th time. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calls the airstrike a tragic mishap, saying there was a technical failure that will be investigated. The Israeli military says it was conducting an intelligence-based strike which killed 2 senior Hamas officials, and that it regrets any harm to uninvolved civilians during combat. The deadly strike targeted a location only 650 feet from a designated humanitarian area. More than 1 million Palestinians have fled to Rafah during the war to seek refuge. President Biden earlier this month threatened to withhold weapons from Israel if its forces enter the city.
I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities.
The attack on Rafah sparking protests here in the U.S. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators blocking this freeway in Los Angeles. Perry Russom, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you believe Israel crossed the line with its most recent Rafah airstrike? Okay, let's take a look. 22% of you say yes, and 78% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstudio.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. Two-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer Bill Walton has died. A league spokesperson says Walton, 71, passed away after a prolonged battle with cancer. Walton led the Portland Trail Blazers to a championship in 1977 and won a second NBA title as a member of the Boston Celtics in 1986. After his Hall of Fame career as a player, Walton brought his unique perspective to the broadcasting booth, where he sometimes went viral for his brand of non-sequitur color commentary. And today is the May 28th Republican runoff election, and 2 candidates are in the runoff for State Representative District 30. A.J. Louderback served as Jackson County Sheriff for 5 terms and has more than 40 years of experience in law enforcement. He received endorsements from Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Attorney General Ken Paxton, Ag Commissioner Sid Miller, and former District 30 candidate Vanessa Hicks Callaway. The other candidate, Jeff Bachnight, previously served as mayor of Victoria. Bachnight claims he wants to focus on border security, business, and economic development. He received an endorsement from Governor Greg Abbott, along with the outgoing District 30 State Representative Jeannie Morrison. 2 candidates are in the runoff race for Victoria County Commissioner Precinct 3. Shannon Martin served the Victoria Fire Department for over 35 years. He won 49% of the vote in the March 5th primary, and Brad Tucker, a Victoria native, worked in construction for 25 years, owning a company. Tucker won 35% of the vote in the March 5th primary. In Lavaca County, 2 candidates are in the runoff for Lavaca County Sheriff. Incumbent Sheriff Micah Harmon spent more than 44 years serving the public as the Justice of the Peace before being elected as Lavaca County Sheriff in 2004. Harmon claims he wants to address the cartel issues in Lavaca County. Also running is Stephen Greenwell, who received 43% of the vote in the primary election. He has more than 25 years of law enforcement experience and has served in positions focused on combating drug and human trafficking. In Calhoun County, 2 candidates are running for the position of tax assessor. Azalea Bonus and Tracy Johnson. In the primary election, Bonus received 37% of the vote and Johnson received 34% of the vote. Also in Calhoun County, 2 candidates are headed to a runoff in the race for Precinct 5 Constable. Incumbent David J. Thomas and Chelsea Holt. In the primary election, Thomas received 39% of the vote and Holt received 41%. The elections today are expected to bring people to the polls in Victoria County. Eligible voters can go to one of 26 locations. They'll be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And for a list of locations in the county, visit crossroadstoday.com and tune in tonight at 10 for your Victoria County election results. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Several gathered yesterday morning at De Leon Plaza to pay tribute to those who have given their all to keep our country free.
I'm ABC's Perry Russom in Washington. The death toll is rising after a holiday weekend of deadly storms. That story coming up.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your marine forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast. And later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at the strong to severe storms possibly coming away this afternoon and tonight. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all tuning in with us this morning, you're looking live in Cuero, and look at that. The clouds are already starting to slowly decrease. But in fact, if you look real close, you can see it's already plenty hazy out there this morning, but also a little bit humid and foggy out there as well. Right now, sitting at 78 degrees, but your dew point matching that temperature. You've got a 99, basically 100% humidity. And as this computer says, it's bringing you a 2-mile visibility, so please be careful. You will probably see a real thin layer of fog. No thick fog. That's the good news for us today. But coming away today, I've had to change the forecast because those thunderstorms now look like they're coming in the afternoon, and another wave coming overnight tonight, but getting up to about 95 even before the thunderstorms. Still going to be hot, humid, and hazy, and mostly sunny in the afternoon before the storms. But not the greatest day now to go fishing because of the storms. But waves will be slightly choppy between 1 to 2 feet, with your winds between 10 to 15 knots, and your water is very warm. 90 degrees, but your air quality is also going to be, because it's hazy out there, air quality is going to be a little bit unhealthy, so please be careful with that. And your UV index is going to be very high before the storm. So we're going to take a look at all of this and more in just a few more moments. And that's it for weather. Now we're going to look at sports with Zach Brown.
State championship week in the Crossroads. We have 2 teams making that trip over to Austin, but today is Shiners Day. They begin that quest for a state title tonight at 7 against Crawford and Austin. It's been about 7 years since the last time the girls made it here, with their last title being back in 2016. But the winning is the expectation for that Comanche program.
State tournament appearances and championship games are not anything that's new to the program and obviously to the community and the school. It's a part of the tradition, it's a part of the history that's happened here in the past, and this makes number 13 as far as getting to the state tournament. So some of these kids in this group may have been managers the last time, so they're still involved in the whole process any way you look at it, and they know what the expectation is, and this is their goal for them every year. The opportunity for them is remarkable, and it's something that they're going to obviously remember for the rest of their life, and we just don't want to get there. We obviously want to try to win the gold medal as like anybody would, and that's their goal. They want to finish number 1, and they don't want to be number 4, number 3, or number 2, and we're going to try to win one more. And we take every single game, one game at a time, one inning at a time, and that's been our goal all year. Win the inning, win the pitch, win the at-bat, and we'll be successful. And they've done an outstanding job of that.
We've just been saying it's just another game. Coming back this year from last year, we wanted it so bad. Just coming out every day on the field, working even harder than we did last year. I would say we're definitely more confident. We've grown closer to the game, just critiquing the little things that really helps, and just especially hitting too, looking at the little things instead of the big picture.
All right, well, good luck to the Shiner Lady Comanches with your 25 Sports Now. I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. The death toll rising from severe storms over the holiday weekend. At least 22 people have been killed after an outbreak of tornadoes across several states.
Severe weather moving east. Downpours in D.C., a tornado warning in Maryland. This is the same system that created more than 24 tornadoes over the weekend, leaving destruction in Oklahoma and Kentucky. Debris is being cleared in Valley View, Texas, one of the hardest hit cities.
My mom, she's still in the hospital. She's in the ICU. She broke her spine in half in the middle, I believe, and she has broken ribs, so she can't feel her legs.
This is what's left of Todd and Lisa Smith's barn, the couple hiding in this bathtub with their dog as the tornado ripped apart their home around them.
I just don't know what the future holds.
In Piatt, Arkansas, in the northern part of the state, the destruction is overwhelming.
You don't know where your next meal is going to come from or where you're going to sleep tonight.
The storms are having effects on travel. We are seeing delays at the airports in Dallas and Atlanta. Highways and roads were also damaged. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Several gathered yesterday morning at Victoria's De Leon Plaza to pay tribute to fallen military who sacrificed to keep our country free. This year's program included a reading of names of deceased veterans from the area, and the placing of wreaths included veterans of foreign wars groups and the American Legion. Shirley Vatter with the VFW Auxiliary says she makes it a point to pay her respects every year.
It's always a pleasure to be here to recognize those that we have lost during the year. Thank you so much to everyone who has come out and supported us. Thank you.
The ceremony ended with the Honor Guard rifle volleys and the playing of taps. The time is now 6:46 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come, at least 29 people have died after a cyclone hit India and Bangladesh. Okay, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Let's hear it for Antonio. He's turning 3. Happy birthday, Antonio. We love you.
Happy birthday, Antonio. And happy 9th birthday to Joe. Happy 9th birthday, son. We love you. And I know you'll be excited to hear me wishing you a happy birthday here because we watch the news every morning.
So
happy
sweet.
birthday. That's so sweet. Thank y'all for watching.
And happy birthday to English actress Carey Mulligan. The Oscar-nominated actress is turning 39.
Oh, happy birthday, Carrie. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on More, and under Home, you'll see KVU to submit your birthday.
Okay, the time is now 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. Well, I still think we're going to have some strong thunderstorms coming away now this afternoon and also another round coming tonight. But looking at the radar right now, not too much. Actually pretty quiet out there. Maybe some of us seeing some real light drizzle. This is nothing. I want to let y'all know this is nothing. This is actually the radar bending off the ground. But what the big stuff is, we're looking at the big stuff in Dallas. And that stuff is actually going to be heading our way over the next several hours going into this afternoon. But they had some strong wind gusts going through Dallas, and they even had a tornado warning going right there through Garland. So if you have any family in Dallas, make sure that they're all right up there because they had some strong winds going right through the metro. But coming our way here in the Crossroads, I think we actually might get some of that as it comes down south. You can see going into this afternoon, here's 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Here's that big cluster coming south door. Actually, look at that, going through Houston. Just like that last one that went through Houston a couple weeks ago. But then you can see going to the afternoon, maybe a couple stuff out there. And then that second wave coming overnight tonight. But the good news is nothing crazy. The only main threat is going to be damaging winds, maybe some small hail. But we're going to take a look at all that more, though, in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
At least 29 people have died after a cyclone hit India and Bangladesh. Cyclone Ramal made landfall Sunday, damaging more than 150,000 homes and destroying over 35,000. 10 people died in various districts in Bangladesh, and at least 7 people died in the southern Indian state of Telangana after heavy rain on Sunday. More than 1 million people were evacuated across the region ahead of the storm. The Indian Meteorology Department says the remnant of Cyclone Ramal further weakened into a depression over East Bangladesh. Protesters are gathering in Taiwan as their parliament takes up a reform bill. Tuesday, the legislature resumed work on a controversial reform bill granting new oversight powers to lawmakers. Outside of parliament, protesters listened to speeches and chanted "No democracy without deliberation." The controversial legislation seeks to fine or jail officials under a new criminal offense of contempt of parliament. If they are found to have made false statements to the legislator, they could also be punished if they refuse to answer questions or provide documents during hearings. Critics argue the bill is vaguely worded and not deliberated. The new Papua New Guinea government says more than 2,000 people are believed to be buried alive following a landslide last Friday. Officials are unable to determine the exact casualty figures for the disaster, which tore through the village in the early hours on Friday. The government figure is roughly triple the UN estimate of 670 killed by the landslide in the South Pacific island nation's mountainous interior. So far, the remains of only 5 people have been recovered as the rubble is 32 feet deep in some places. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. 5 people were shot in Sacramento at an apartment complex on Memorial Day. 5 people were shot in Sacramento, California on Memorial Day. It happened outside an apartment complex around 8 p.m. Sacramento police say among the 5 victims were 3 men and a woman and a teen girl. Police say it is believed the victims all know each other, but it's unclear yet if all or any of them were related. The severity of their injuries is not known. The circumstances of the shooting remains under investigation. Police say the suspects remain at large. Cleanup efforts are underway across the state after severe storms hit over the weekend. Officials say 7 people died due to weather-related incidents, including falling trees. Day 2 of recovery across the state shows more movement in the way of relief efforts. Power crews, food services, and community members made their way into neighborhoods hit the hardest. The National Weather Service has dispatched survey teams to Cook County and found extensive damage from both EF2 and EF3 tornadoes. Authorities are also working to determine if a tornado touched down in Denton County, where the majority of damage occurred from downed trees. Former President Donald Trump asked a federal judge to reject a request for a gag order in the classified documents case. Special counsel Jack Smith's office requested the Florida judge overseeing the case place a gag order on Trump that would limit his ability to publicly talk about law enforcement that searched his Mar-a-Lago estate in 2022. Trump criticized the FBI for a policy about the use of deadly force during the search, but it's policy used by the Bureau for every warrant they execute. Attorneys for Trump say the gag order request is an unconstitutional censorship application to target Trump's speech as he runs for president. The dune sagebrush lizard lives in the same West Texas land that supports the state's biggest oil and gas fields. Industry leaders say its new designation as an endangered species will hurt drilling and production. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a look at our cloudy sunrise with Parker. Parker, how's it looking?
Well, Carolina, you are correct. Look how cloudy it is out there this morning with that sunrise coming over Port Lavaca, but it is plenty warm and humid out there if you're going to go see that sunrise. 83 degrees in Port Lavaca, but plenty humid, wet, 81-degree dew point, bringing you just a tad bit of thin fog this morning. But coming our way today, we've got some strong thunderstorms possibly come this afternoon, as early as this afternoon, and even as tonight. But looking at the radar right now, nothing going on. Maybe some of us seeing real light drizzle, but the big stuff is up in Dallas, and this is what's going to be coming our way going into this afternoon, and a second wave will actually be arriving tonight. And that's why for today here in Victoria, I'm thinking right between 3 and 6 p.m. those thunderstorms will be arriving in the Crossroads, but getting up to about 95 here in Victoria, and about the same thing at Cuero. Some thunderstorms in the vicinity in the afternoon, but getting up to about 97, plenty warm over there as the sun comes out in the afternoon, but a little bit hazy before that, and also breezy in the afternoon as well. But about the same thing in Port Lavaca, still some thunderstorms in the vicinity all the way through the late afternoon, getting up to about 91 for today. But we got lots more daily rain chances coming our way this week and lots more heat to accompany it. But make sure to be weather aware tonight for those strong to severe thunderstorms.
Yes, stay safe out there, and don't forget it is election day. Get out to the polls. They are opening in less than a minute, and be sure to have a great rest of your Tuesday and follow us on our YouTube channel, and join Karina, Don, Mac, and Zach today for all your election coverage on 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.